Great Mother speaks.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space.
Hello and welcome to your Aquarius Full Moon Great Mother Speaks reading. This full moon is in the nakshatra of Dhanista. It is a very happy-go-lucky energy, people that are born in it, and actually it's the fewest people of record who are born in this nakshatra than of any other. It is equidistance between Capricorn and Aquarius in the Jyotish astrology, which is what we use here on Great Mother Speaks. She calls it the soul astrology. This is the astrology that really does pace this life with the soul most accurately because it is cosmological. We do use Western astrology in terms of understanding our egoic relationship to the soul. So our emotional state is really important in terms of looking at our Western astrology. Here we deal with mama drama trauma, which is a condition in which the mother projects unhealed issues of herself onto her child, causing emotional and/or physical trauma. And so in order to heal mama drama trauma, we have to tap into our intuitive wisdom, which is the fundamental basis of lunar astrology when it is activated as a tool to be used for healing, which is why we use the Jyotish astrology and your Jyotish moon sign, which you can find in the calculator below. Of course, use whichever moon sign most resonates with you at this time. Detachment is all about an energy of sociability, and following up the new moon reading in Cancer, you may want to check on what your new moon wishes were. I have found with individuals who come for readings how incredible using the follow-up full moon reading within the context of what Great Mother was saying during the new moon gives a very enlightened perspective on how to work with the lunar energies, because with the personal readings, we actually look at your unique cosmic calculus, your moon sign. So even if your moon sign is Aquarius, not all of you have this full moon as your full moon at this particular time. Some of you will have it at other times during the year based on the degree of the moon in which you were born. For example, you may be born at 5 degrees Aquarius, and that's more new moon energy. Full moon energy is 15, 16 degrees, etc., etc. So I want to encourage you to be more familiar with your degrees of your moon sign, because the Lunar New Year for you and the midpoint of your year is going to vary quite a bit with these general readings, as well as configurations, aspects, and planetary placements in your birth chart. So for that, go to greatmotherspeaks.info for a personal reading. I want to let you know that because it is going to also change the nakshatra of your moon sign. And so this, generally speaking, at this time, the moon is in the nakshatra of Dhanista, but you may be in another nakshatra in which you were born. There are an average of 2.5 nakshatras per sign. So there's a toss-up there energetically, but we'll do our best here. This energy overall, generally for all of us speaking here, is a full moon energy of lightheartedness. It's a lightheartedness that is very communicative. It's very socially oriented, highly creative. It's honest. Aquarian energy is very honest, very direct, can be emotionally detached, which in many cases for mama drama trauma is a good thing, because our yellow brick road is a healing road of loving detachment from the drama, the trauma, and in some cases, the mama, if that is necessary. And so this kind of mental acuity comes from a sense of a capability to maneuver one's mental space that's made available through the alchemy of Aquarian energy. in this constellation. It is very learned, particularly through its social proclivities, through friends. It really loves to interact with people and create associations with individuals in order to gain its knowledge, in order to really enjoy life. That's an important part of gaining wisdom. And the knowledge is so important in order to be able to decode macro patterns, the macro patterns of life. They're very good architects. They're very good engineers, and they can look at the whole and break it down into detail. And this all seems to come about over a drink after work. They tend to learn quite well in study groups in school. Even their romantic life is centered around social engagement. And so if you're dating someone like this, or you are like this yourself, it may be difficult for you to understand the attachment that people have romantically in relationships that dictates a very singular one-on-one relationship, when in fact love for you is an augmented experience with others. So it's very intuitive at the same time with regard to the unique genius of others, and it likes to tap into that as well as the genius within oneself. So we're talking about the transition from Capricorn energy, which is all about that inner silence and diligent focus and manifesting, to this equidistance to Aquarian energy that's about outer service. And so bringing that inner wisdom, that inner genius, that macro vision into the world through the detailed analysis and connecting with others to manifest that outer service. And so coming through the eclipses and coming through all that we have been experiencing this year with the retrogrades, we now have Jupiter direct as of the 11th of this month. Yes! And so that is a very central theme of this full moon reading. Jupiter is direct again in the sign of Scorpio in the Vedic. So we're going to look at that in each sign as we look at the illumination that this Aquarius full moon in Detachment has for you. Aquarius moon sign. Now, if this is your full moon, and for all Aquarius moon signs, this is your full moon for the year, right? But if you were born during the Aquarius full moon, this is going to resonate with you more than if you were born during the Aquarius new moon, for example, because the energies of a new moon and a full moon are so different. You're going to resonate more with the moon phase that you were born in, because new moon energy is more of a letting go, a kind of a waning energy that is preparing itself for insemination, like our new moon wishes. And so that's more of when we do the Aquarius new moon reading around February or so. And so you will resonate more with that because it's a more emotional energy. It's a more self-conscious energy. It's an energy, if you're born in the new moon, that's more about seeking stability and kind of feeling a general sense of instability with regard to your intuition and working with it and trusting it. Now, of course, again, configurations and aspects are going to greatly affect this, especially your moon sign. Planetary conjunctions are going to change this and how it affects this general sense of your moon phase and how it operates. But I want to say that because full moon births, you resonate with your full moon in such a way that it gives you an ability to sit with emotions very powerfully. And since Great Mother speaks from that place of divinity to us, that we are divine dearly loved children of the great Mother, Father, God, who were never judged, condemned, or left alone, it may be easier if you're born in the full moon to receive that message. And so that's the distinction I really want to make. I want to acknowledge those of us who may not be able to readily resonate with that. And that's why the phase of the moon being in darkness when we're born is an indication that part of the intuitive life lesson has to do with learning how to sit with volatility, learning how to process pain. And it creates a lot of emotional discomfort and therefore a lot of insecurities with working with intuition. And since these are intuitive readings, again, I just want to acknowledge that that might be a challenge for some Aquarius new moon people listening to this full moon message, which is, and all of the full moon messages are follow-ups to new moon messages that Great Mother gave in fulfilling what this lunar cycle has for healing mama drama trauma. Now, for you, in the center position, we always have the work that the soul wants to do, the lunar cycle. And now that we are in this midpoint, which is going into the dark phase of the moon in the northern hemisphere and the light phase of the moon in the southern hemisphere, which all of this is reversed for you, this would be your new moon reading, we're talking about integrity. So the soul wants to do work with regard to owning your truth, specifically as it relates to telling yourself the truth about how mama drama trauma is affecting your life. And integrity is heart chakra energy. It's about that heart truth that you have. And with Aquarian energy being this very intellectual, genius type soul tapping into your true expression to the point where you don't have a problem detaching from others, that might be a problem for you right now, detaching from the opinions of others. It might be a challenge to actually embrace the tranquility, the happiness, the harmony at home that is available to you right now, if you are able to do so. And so that's that divinity again, tapping into that awareness that we are divine children of the great Mother, Father, God, who are never judged, condemned, or left alone. We have the birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole. And so that's the full moon energy, is really owning that birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole with this Aquarius full moon. Jupiter is in your 10th house right now, which is really all about fulfilling this life soul contract of healing mama drama trauma. It's in Scorpio. And so now that it has come out of retrograde and you have had a period of time to reflect consciously or unconsciously upon the soul contract of mama drama trauma, which is to evolve in self-love and spiritual independence. Now with the guru planet of Jupiter going direct, you are discovering hidden truths, hidden strengths. Prior to the retrograde that began in April, you did not know or you had not fully delved into. And now with it going direct, you are becoming quite good at being able to recognize how this soul contracts fits into your success as a guru, as a teacher, as a father to your child, as a mother to your child, as someone who is imparting this wisdom about self-love and spiritual independence, about having your own relationship with God, honoring your own soul genius. You have come through the fire, so to speak, on the other side of these eclipses, and you're owning this power. Now, what's bringing up this desire for the soul to own this truth is the Moses card. It's a gut chakra first quarter moon card that's all about learning and living the law. The law is ego soul alignment. As above, so below. And so below, as we experience mama drama trauma and the feelings of being unloved, being judged, condemned, being left alone, shame, blame, and guilt, we find through this Jupiter turning direct the reality that this retrograde has shown us that this is not true. And that in fact, we are beginning to learn how to align the truth of our divinity with the practical aspects of our lives, facing the challenge to live out our divinity, to walk it out, as I coach my clients to do. Walk out the divinity, actually experience the health, happiness, and the wholeness that is our birthright. This is what's bringing this need to tell yourself the truth is about. It is really aspecting Cancer energy for you in your 6th house, where Mercury and Venus are at this particular time. So Venus being ruled by the heart chakra, in your shadow position is Coventina, the heart chakra, waxing gibbous moon card of purification. So there's a purification that's occurring that you're finding your ability to support your family emotionally, and maybe your ability to deal with challenges with female members of your family, aunts, sisters, your mother, and the relationship this has with money issues, all these kind of Venetian kind of issues coming up in your 6th house on a daily basis may not be in your direct consciousness at this time with Coventina in your shadow position. There's a purification that's occurring here, and Mercury being conjunct Venus in Cancer, the sign of Great Mother ruled by the moon, is showing that this may also be a period where there's some challenges with your children, and there's maybe some mental vacillation back and forth. Okay, should I do this? Should I do this? How should I support my family? Maybe a sense of a little overwhelmed with imparting this new wisdom that you have with your family, because you've received great illumination with the Dagna card in your desire position. It's the double yin card. You have downloaded a lot of wisdom from Great Mother. This is a 2nd chakra card. 2nd chakra is ruled by Jupiter. And so Jupiter direct here with the Dagna card, you've downloaded a lot. 3rd quarter moon is telling us that you have released a lot too. And sometimes people just need their own time to catch up with us. And so although it may not feel that you're being successful, Great Mother's coming through and she's saying that you are being successful imparting what you've learned to others. Not that you are coercing or forcing the wisdom you've garnered over the last few months or the last year or 2 years since the eclipse the world stopped to watch, August 2017. The mere fact that you're aware of it and that you've been pursuing this wisdom is showing up in your life. People can sense it. It's an energetic thing, as we know with Aquarius moon sign. You are able to connect the dots between your own unique genius and the genius within others, and you look for that. You are able to gain this knowledge for the purpose of enjoying life and for the purpose of serving others, and so you have done nothing but enhance your ability to do so over the last few months. And Great Mother's coming through and she's saying that this is the energy that you are emitting, and it may be like any change, causing some resistance in some quarters, such as relationships with sisters, aunts, intensifying some heretofore thought, some resolved issues with the mother coming up again, that kind of thing. Now, the support that's available to you to stay in this integrity that your soul is wanting to work on at this time is Lilith, your personal power, another gut chakra card. And the gut chakra being ruled by Mars, Mars is the emissary of Dashnetha, the nakshatra that is of this Aquarius full moon. So we're seeing that the Martian energy here, which is all about defending your life purpose. It's all about standing up for your dharma. And this is where Jupiter is. It's in your 10th house. When we're talking inner work, 10th house is dharma, life purpose. And so you are receiving a lot of support from another waxing gibbous moon phase card, Lilith. Your personal power to revise, to update how you have been using your power in the past and how you're going to use it going forward. In this scene, Glinda the Good Witch bestows Dorothy with the ruby red slippers in the face of the Wicked Witch. Although you may be dealing with some challenges relationally right now as a result of you standing your ground with regard to your heart wisdom, the truth that you know to be your divinity at this time, do not take off your ruby red slippers, which symbolize our birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole. This is what is supporting you to own the downloads that you've received over this retrograde period, and to align with your soul, which has been reborn through this process. As we see with the Osiris Horus card, the Death Rebirth card is another waxing gibbous moon phase card, your third of the reading thus far. A lot of revision going on with this Jupiter turning direct for you in the 10th house, your life purpose, being reborn in it, you being regalvanized to move forward more powerfully, as we see Dorothy here has melted the Wicked Witch, who symbolizes the drama mama. The Wizard of Oz is the key that we use in the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck to show us the phases of healing. This is a very important phase. In fact, it is the climax of healing mama drama trauma, and that is to take our power back. Now, the card that comes after this is actually when Dorothy takes the broom, which symbolizes the broom. But this act, more accurately, is described as sacrificing our MDT identity of shame, blame, and guilt for divinity identity. Walking out, living that knowing that we are dearly loved, never judged, condemned, or left alone. And so anything that is against that is not true. And so the Spirit takes care of any and everything that is against our divinity. We don't have to do anything. All Dorothy did was throw a pail of water to put the fire out of Scarecrow, which the witch started. And what does Scarecrow symbolize? He symbolizes the mind. And so this proclivity at this particular time, perhaps Aquarius moon sign people, to vacillate back and forth with regard to how to serve and to share your truth, and am I creating problems by asserting this? Some of you may be asking yourself that may not have this strong light of the sun to be able to stand in this kind of hot water, so to speak. Know that you do have the support of the cosmos to do it. Osiris Horus is a throat chakra card. And so this is mercurial, and we have Mercury, again, in your 6th house, which is giving you the wherewithal to understand that any problems that may be showing up, with your own children, again, those that you're sharing your truth with, is not something that you directly have to deal with, but just to be aware of mentally. Scarecrow, take care of your own mind, take care of your own boundaries around your divinity, recognizing those things that don't support it. The Spirit will take care of. It will be melted away from your life. Just take care of yourself. And the 3, Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion, symbolize aspects of Dorothy, and she was taking care of herself. That's the death. And so this card in this position is the state of your ego soul alignment. And so your state of your ego soul alignment with regard to the integrity is that you are sacrificing your MDT identity for your divinity identity. And you're doing it well. It may be serendipitously, but it's happening. And that's what happens for us as divine children. We're children. We don't have to worry about the details of how. All we have to do is pay attention to our intuition, use what we need, and give away or discard the rest. Why your soul wants to do this work, Aquarius moon sign people, is we see Tara here in the waning gibbous third eye card of centering. This is when she taps her heels 3 times to go home after Glenda has told her you could have done this all along, but you had to go on your own journey. Your soul wanted you to go on this journey of walking this wisdom out so that you could know for your own going forward. And it wants to continue this journey. Body, mind, soul, scarecrow, lion, tin man, who are the farm hands on the farm when Dorothy opens her eyes. They're back there with her, continuing the journey in your life with those who may seem to create problems for us. And then sometimes they're supportive and then sometimes they are not. And then we go back and forth. And that's why we vacillate back and forth. Okay, what's going on? This Aquarius full moon is illuminating a light on your ability to tap into that third eye energy. The third eye rules, the moon rules the third eye, and Cancer, which is where Mercury and Venus are at this time. That's showing these hidden enemies, so to speak. That's showing these daily life challenges, perhaps going forward with the balance of this lunar cycle for you, and to pay attention to these things so that you can prepare yourself for the Leo new moon wishes coming up in a couple of weeks. How your soul wants to do this work at this particular time is shown by the Baba Yaga card, the Wild Woman new moon card. Throat chakra energy, mercurial again, but then the darkness of this card, this new moon energy, is telling you that the way your soul wants to deal with this integrity is by continuing your journey through the dark night of healing mama drama trauma. And so, although you have made great strides, there are still more strides to make. It wants to redouble your ability to go through the tunnel and come out on the other side based on the truths that you've garnered in this journey. And your final outcome in doing that is Inanna. Embrace the shadow. And so there are still shadows yet to be revealed to you about you and for you to embrace. In other words, the journey of self-love is continuing for you, Aquarius moon sign people. There's so much within you to love. There is so much truth about what is worthy in you to love that you have yet to recognize, and your soul wants you to walk out in order to strengthen your ability to serve with authenticity. That is your message from Great Mother for this Aquarius full moon. Hope you continue to have a wonderful Cancer new moon lunar cycle with your full moon at this particular time. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking. But above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic.